What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Prince YouTube PS Compulsion signing in here, aka Prince Anthony. And as everybody knows, NBA 2K20 is set to release in September, which is less than 2 months away. And although I'm sure that the game is almost complete, it won't hurt to make a few suggestions as to what I want to see when it comes to two of the best game modes on NBA 2K, which are MyLeague mode and MYGM. There's a few things that we hope for every single year that we just wish 2K would add to the game modes, but instead, we're left disappointed. For example, going back to last year, I made two wishlist videos for NBA 2K19, where I listed 15 things altogether between both videos that can be added to MyGM and MyLeague mode in literally any future 2K game to make the game modes better. And guess what? I basically just wasted my time. Did they add a better and more realistic presentation of the NBA draft like they did in previous games? Nope. Did they allow you to play with your team's G League roster to develop certain players on your team? Nope. Did they allow us to edit actual NBA players and change things such as their hairstyles and give them headbands? Nope. Did they even try adding more contract options such as buying out a player or being able to do a sign and trade? Nope. Out of the 15 things I asked for, NBA 2K19 delivered on one thing, and that was having the option to play either a MyGM story mode or to play a regular MyGM mode, which they called it a traditional MyGM, which was good. So since 2K loves to apply little changes to MyGM and MyLeague, I came up with 5 low-key features that will make MyGM/MyLeague mode that much better. So without further ado, let's get to the list. So one low-key feature that definitely should be added is having different and more unique MyGM mode cutscenes. This applies to the story mode and a traditional MyGM as well. Every single year we have to deal with the same old repetitive cutscenes. This player has been complaining about the role he's been getting lately. This player isn't happy about the minutes he's been getting. This player isn't happy about the rumors he's heard about us trying to trade for a guy at his position. Listen, I do not care. Players with overalls close to 80 complaining about playing time or being a starter. The media constantly asking me which area of my staff needs improvement or managing the egos of all my players. Like, bro, I'm sick of it, bro. I'm really sick of it. These cutscenes are fine when you look at it, but they're way too repetitive. We definitely need more scene variety. Even in the story mode for MyGM on NBA 2K19 had the same issue. My team owner rarely came to me about anything story related. In fact, the MyGM story was basically the first 2 hours of cutscenes and then a regular MyGM mode after. I'm jacking that, bro. Like, if you guys watch my Las Vegas Royales live stream, the saga continues. For that first episode, when the game came out, I had to go through literally 2 hours worth of cutscenes, and then after that, he literally left me alone for the remainder of the season. He barely bothered me after that, bro, about literally anything. He rarely came and spoke to me. Like, how does that really happen? But anyways, let me get back on topic. This game mode needs more unique cutscenes that could be based on how the season is going, or even about how the roster is currently constructed. Like, bro, more unique cutscenes. Like, think about this. Here's a few examples. Like, let a player come to my office and tell me about how he's planning to sign with a different team in the offseason. Let a player come request a trade to a specific team to go play with a friend. Let a star player tell me that they want me to trade for another star player. Let my coach complain about a specific player bringing down team morale. Let's have cutscenes in the parking lot, the team practice facility, at the team's home games, while speaking to reporters. I could be speaking to the press at the home games, like, you know, those little interviews that they be doing. We can have a cutscene like that. Just do something new, 2K. That's all I'm really asking for. Those are just a few examples that I'd prefer over hearing a player just complaining about being a starter because he's a 79 overall. Bro, get over it. You're not going to start. So the next low-key feature that should be added is retiring jerseys and numbers for any former player. This goes for both MyGM mode and MyLeague mode. We've seen players get their jersey retired all the time in the NBA. We've seen players that been with a team for years, such as Big Z from the Cavs, get his jersey retired by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And just recently, we've seen the Golden State Warriors announce that they're going to retire Kevin Durant's number 35 jersey after being with the team for no more than 3 seasons. So, in NBA 2K20, we should have the option to choose and retire the jerseys for any former player that we've had on our team. For example, let's take a look at my Las Vegas Royals MyGM series. If I was to win a championship and I had a player like Josh Hart leave the team for whatever reason, I should have the option to retire his number and jersey after he leaves. This feature would be great and lit, especially for expansion teams, because those teams, like my Las Vegas Royals, have no sort of history in the NBA. So adding a retired jersey to the rafters for your expansion team in the expansion team's custom arena will be more than lit. Like, imagine me playing my Las Vegas Royals series right now and I retire Josh Hart's jersey and you just see it hanging from the rafters. It says Hart. Bro, that would be fire. But moving on to the next feature I feel like they should add is a quick sim to the end of the season option. This goes for both MyGM and MyLeague mode. If you ever tried simulating to the end of a season in MyLeague mode, and especially in MyGM mode, you'll sadly realize that it could take forever, bro. Getting through the season on MyGM takes a long time when you're plagued with skipping countless cutscenes of dumb press conferences asking you about areas of your staff that needs improvements and players complaining about playing time every 5 minutes. Although MyLeague is a bit quicker because, you know, you don't have to deal with that, I figured out a way to solve this issue for both modes by introducing a new quick sim to the end of the season option. If this option is chosen, then the game will simulate you to the end of the season in a similar way to the Start Now game mode. So basically, the game will skip past a bunch of dates, allowing the users to get to the end of the season within a minute or two. Also, when choosing to simulate or before choosing to start the simulation, you can set your MyGM options depending on what you want randomized. For example, before starting the simulation, you should be able to choose options like no trades during the simulation or no lineup changes during the simulation to ensure that your team stays intact, barring injuries, of course, because that's the only thing that could affect the lineup. If a player gets injured, and obviously he has to come out of the lineup, that's the only thing that would change the lineup. But besides that, no lineup changes during the simulation, no trades during the simulation, and of course they can add more options to make the simulation a lot more personalized, to be honest. Also, don't worry, because although this option would be lit, you'll still be able to simulate a season regularly by just going to the last game and simulating up to that point. You'll still be able to do that. I just want them to create a separate option that would allow you to just simulate straight to the end of the season and leave it at that. But for people trying to do quick rebuilds, or they may just want to get to the off season, this feature would definitely be beneficial. So 2K, add that option, baby. So the next feature that should be added is general manager contracts on MyGM mode, and it could also go for MyLeague, but I'm mainly focusing on MyGM mode for this one. So I just started a new MyGM mode, right? Let's say with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'll start off with a contract wage of 585 VC when I play a game and win, while getting 485 VC when I play a game and lose. I simulate through a few seasons, and the team I put together isn't bad, but isn't good enough to win an NBA championship. I can continually simulate seasons, and my contract will neither increase or decrease, and although there is a slight chance you could get fired by your team owner, the chances of that actually happening are slim to none. Like, it rarely happens, bro. So, to make things more interesting and realistic, 2K should add in general manager contracts for your player when you start a MyGM mode. For example, as soon as you start your MyGM mode with any team, you should negotiate your GM contract with your team owner in a similar style to how you would do on My Career. You should be able to negotiate the amount of VC you get paid for your actual salary, which is paid out every 2 weeks. And then you should also be able to negotiate the amount of VC you make per game, because 585 VC per game is not cutting it, especially when you play long quarters, bro. And you should also be able to negotiate the amount of years on your contract. This will make the mode that much more better and interesting, because let's say I sign with the Phoenix Suns as a general manager. I put together a championship team and I win the championship, but my contract ended right after we won the title. Other teams should pursue me hard and try to offer me huge contracts so I could come and run their organization. It's all about who makes the best offer, and that adds more intrigue to the mode, not knowing what team you can end up turning into a dynasty. So they definitely need to make general manager contracts a thing. Now the last thing, or the last feature that should be added, is the most simplest thing ever, which is bringing back the preseason. This goes for both MyGM and MyLeague modes. I honestly don't remember which was the last NBA 2K game that featured the preseason, but if I could take a guess, I would probably say it was NBA 2K11, because I remember playing that game and I always played through association mode, and they did have the preseason in that one. I know that for sure, because I used to play that game like all the time. NBA 2K11 was a very good game, but it wasn't even called MyGM at the time. It was called association mode, like I said. But basically, the title of this feature speaks for itself. After an off season and before the start of the regular season, we should have the option to play through 5 to 10 preseason games in early October for whichever team we started a MyGM series with. A feature like this is much needed, especially when it comes down to developing talent on your roster and further developing your players in general. Giving players the opportunity to play a few games before the season starts gives them a chance to get ready for the NBA grind. Also, like the Summer League, we should be able to choose the preseason roster using players on our actual roster, or actual team I should say. That way, if you have a star player like LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, or Paul George, Russell Westbrook, the list goes on and on. But if you have a star player that you don't want to play during the preseason, you can have him sit out and get ready for the regular season. So ladies and gentlemen, these are my 5 low-key features I think would make NBA 2K20 MyGM/MyLeague mode that much more better. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you guys think. Leave your thoughts and opinions regarding any features you think that should be added to the game modes as well. Looking forward to reading your comments. Leave a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the Prince of YouTube, signing out.